This is the latest project by Lodi Design and Landscape, located in Tracy. A backyard project consisting of an empty back lot to start with, and then applying patios, doughboy pool pad, privacy screen, low maintenance drip irrigated plantings, 3.5-foot walkways out into the garden and to the pool ladder eventually that you're seeing right there. Electrical pad placed to code distance. Winding paths all the way to the back gate. These are future grape arbors, as the family is in the grape business for work. This used to be all lawn, and now the lawn consists of about 500 square feet and occupies just the small center of the backyard. There's 12-volt lighting that will light up the trees during the growing season and now. We were very pleased with the way this came out. And lastly, the utilitarian area, which we're about to enter now, consists of an older shed, but we have decomposed granite covering, 2 vegetable boxes that are dripped, and then our mechanicals here on the side of the wall, out of sight. This is about a 2.5-week project from the ground up, and we're proud to say that Lodi Design and Landscape did it. Talk to you later. Thanks for visiting. What you're seeing is the latest project located in Stockton, with a combination of all new patio supports, and landscaping from fence to fence. This is for an elderly lady who was challenged about navigating around in the backyard. We've solved that issue now with 3.5-foot walkways that are flat and smooth to where she can get out all the way in the garden without worrying about falling. In the eyes of water conservation, we have a water feature that is a pondless waterfall that requires checking only about every 2 weeks. The lawn size was reduced by 60% compared to the old. She has a small area in front of her patio for her annual color, and eventually the Giacomani birches will provide some shade there for her in her remaining years. The grape arbor is for additional seating, and into the shady area on the north side has additional seating as well on compacted decomposed granite. This is her raised vegetable bed that she can tend at a height that is physically comfortable for her. Thanks for visiting. Hi, good morning. You're visiting one of the latest projects of Lodi Design and Landscape. This one is located down in Tracy, a backyard in the Alyssa Gary area. And the theme of this particular one was tropical, as the clients were from the deep south and wanted to see plants that reminded them of home. So we have many selections of hardy palm, dwarf magnolia, bougainvillea, and other tropical type of plants that are hardy enough to survive in Northern California with a little precaution in the winter. We have lighting and drip irrigation. The lawn was removed, and the mounded area where the fountain is replaces the old lawn. The lawn was struggling very badly, and now we have additional seating area with the flagstone, a nice recirculating water feature, and eventually the magnolias will reach about a 20-foot height on these little gems to give some privacy from the large backyard area that looks down in them from the two-story house. This took about 6 working days, and we really like the way it turned out. So thanks for visiting. Drop us a line at lodidesignandlandscape.com if you're interested in a consult or you have a backyard project of your own that you need some help with. Thanks for visiting. Bye. And good day. Matt here at Lodi Design and Landscape. This is our latest area in the Park West neighborhood of Lodi. The theme of this landscape was green drains and drip irrigation for water conservation. This used to be a lawn with a couple of shrubs up by the house, and what we've done is we have eliminated all of the lawn, given the yard a raised planter bed look for good plantings and good takeoff. And the green drain version of this yard is attached to the downspout off there in the distance and runs through a permeable corrugated pipe and allows the water to percolate back into the yard rather than just running off to the street. So that's what the dry creek bed is for. We've used small sun and shade type of plantings, as during the summer it's a very shady yard, and the winter it's a full sun yard. We converted the existing irrigation to drip out in the field of the yard with one conversion up at the valve. It's all in automatic timers. And we also have some LED low voltage lighting to highlight the trees in the evening hours. Again, very conservation minded these people are. So if you're interested in a small makeover like this, give us a call. This is Matt, Lodi Design and Landscape. Thanks for visiting. I'd like to take a moment and introduce one of the latest projects of Lodi Design and Landscape. This one is located up in the small town of Thornton, north of Lodi. And what you're looking at is a total new install that resulted in many different kinds of upgrades and updates. We have screened off well tanks, raised vegetable boxes, pathways that go out into the garden and to the main patio. Please excuse the train. Additional seating benches that you see right there. A very small natural lawn. All the planting areas are drip irrigated with 2 gallon per hour rather than minute emitters. And we really like the way this one turned out. There's low voltage lighting, considering there's no street lights out here. The low voltage lighting is underground and decorative and lights it up very tastefully and nice in the evening hours. All low growing plantings allow them still to have their long distance view out the back in a safe, clean landscape environment all the way through construction. Visit us at the website at Lodi Design and Landscape.com. Thanks for visiting. See you at the next one. Hi, good morning. I'm on a job project out in Linden, California, and the theme of today's educational lesson is proper irrigation and drip installation. What you're seeing is the tail end of the underground work and trenching using top quality PVC parts, rainbird valves, quality underground wire. And this is coming off of a well situation. And because we're still suffering a drought out here despite recent rains, over 75% of this yard will be drip irrigated and not sprayed turf. Everything has been flushed, everything has been cleaned, and the beginning of some of the lawn installation is underway. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, this happens to be my house. We bought it last year and are going to use it and convert it into a landscape display area. And as you can see, it's a monster just in the front yard. The backyard is kind of underway with a little bit of completion already done back last fall. But one of the things that you have to remember during irrigation installation is maintaining a good constant pressure from the valves all the way to the last irrigation head. Otherwise, the first 3 or 4 will work really well, and then the last ones will not be. So in this case, we took off with 1.5 inch valves, 1.5 inch pipe, and then stepped it down to 1 inch, and then down to 3/4 inch to the heads. And in testing, without even the nozzles being on, it's worked very, very well. Good pressure from beginning to the end of the line. As you can see, there's a lot of it. So, quality installation. In addition to the irrigation, we've also installed a very long sump discharge line, which you see there, and discharges excess of rainwater coming off the roof and being discharged out through the front yard, down by the truck down there, and then it'll be allowed to perk back in where there'll be a little mini orchard. So it's a mechanized green drain, I think is what they call it in the industry now. And it stubs up right there. So that's still quite a ways between there and the street. So at least I'll be able to keep some of the water on the property and have some good deep irrigation and saturation during the dormant winter months. So if you're interested in a quality irrigation installation with quality products and a professional who knows what they're doing, give me a call at Lodi Design and Landscape. Or you can visit our website at lodidesignandlandscape.com. Catch you at the next one, and thanks for taking a minute. Hi, and good morning. A little bit of fast forward here. Last time we visited, we had trenches open and irrigation going in. Now we've fast forwarded a little bit to edging is in, plants and trees are in, irrigation is all done and set up. The plants we selected were a combination of drought-tolerant perennials, crepe myrtle, and the ever water-loving red maples someday. Hopefully the drought won't be here forever. But both sides now, the sod bed is done, and the lawn will be going in here. We're going to choose a dwarf fescue mix, which requires watering only twice a week. There we have the other side of the landscape and the planting beds, and you can see the peach orchard in in bloom right now. So the sod bed lines are painted out. The tree beds are painted out. And inside those circles, we'll have either barked in decorative mulch, or we'll do some annual color spot when time allows. We came into a month of February in 2016 that gave us a lot of dry period. So the ground that was here dried out, hardened up. It was a little difficult at times to actually work with in February, when you would think you'd be fighting mud. But we got through it, and we've graded stuff out, and it's ready for grass now. We have the trees up next to the future deck that are in. Deck will be going in a month or so. And then we've decorated around the propane tank, rose bed on the side of the house, and a little bit of color bed near the sidewalks. So join us again towards the tail end of this project when you'll see the sod will be in and installed. 100 cubic yards of decorative bark will be brought in. And the project will be almost to a close for 2016. Later on down the road, what you see off in the distance there near the roadway will be another mini orchard, and I'll bring you back and visit the front beds right along the roadway that we're going to do later in the year. We appreciate you visiting. We hope you've learned something with this, and any questions, please drop us a line at LodiDesignandLandscape.com. This is Matt signing off for now. Thanks for visiting. Well, Happy New Year for 2017. This is an updated video regarding the landscape project out in Linden that has come along nicely, all the way since the last time we visited in early 2016. Now we have the 2-rail fence up, we have some streetscaping that's gone in, and some new gravel that has been put down on the driveway for the heavy entrances for big trucks, cement trucks, etc. We've put in a dry stream bed, which you can see there, a serpentine creek bed if you would, that serves both as drainage purposes and for discharge from the sumps, the sump pumps that are up at the house for water control due to grading issues here on the property. So this area that you're seeing right here will be the spring project, where we'll come in and finish off the dirt area with low maintenance, drought tolerant type of landscaping. And a lot of the plant material that will be selected will be butterfly and hummingbird attractors, as well as some sustainables as well. This will all be drip irrigated. The last time we visited was this area from this shot, and now you can see that the driveway edging is in. The area has been completed with about 30% lawn and 70% plant material. And this is the area in the spring right here, the secondary driveway, which we just formed a couple weeks ago and will be pouring within a week. The frost has hit us kind of hard out here. We ended up losing a couple of citrus this winter, so we'll probably have to replant those. Right now we're getting ready for the Lodi Home and Garden Show coming up on the 20th through the 22nd. So the trailers are out front. Plant inventory is staged and ready to be taken for display. We did come pretty close to finishing the big deck out front. We call it the sunset deck, and we've enjoyed it a lot already. Now we just have to put up the railings and get some deck lighting on there. And then we have also completed the side over here where we've put up some decorative arbors, plant material which has been pruned back for the winter, some of the iceberg roses and patio tree roses. And then we just recently got in these big box specimens which we're going to stain up and make look nice, and then plant up with some shade-loving plant material as well as some color for the summer. So you can see we've touched a lot of different elements as far as landscaping on this project, and it'll continue through much of 2017, where we hope to wrap it all up. And when we visit again, you'll see the completion of this out here, as well as the large pondless waterfall that we're putting in the back. So join us again, and we appreciate you taking a minute. This is Matt, Lodi Design and Landscape. Thank you. Okay, so the first big storm of 2017, as we all saw, dumped a lot of rain. And when you have places in the valley that have very little slope, very little drainage, what do? This happens to be my place out in Linden, and what we're finding is minor ponding and flooding in the orchard area. And if this water was not controlled, it would be running across my yard and underneath and at my foundation of the house. So what I've done, and what I've done for several other clients, is we do an underground sump, which looks like this. You have a surround with a basin, which is cemented in place, and then inside we have a submersible pump with a float, and that's what you call water control there. This is being pumped some 400 feet out to the end of the property and into the culvert. And I have a similar one that is being worked on the other side of the property as well. So as long as you have electricity, you can control water in this fashion. And like I have here with a backup generator system, even if the power goes out, we'll still be able to control water. So if something like that rings a bell for you guys, then you do have somebody to call that has some knowledge regarding water control and water management. Lodi Design and Landscape.com. This is Matt, 209-642-0675. Thanks for watching. Well, the first job of 2016 is complete. This one's located in French Camp, and the theme, as we always have, is Baja California. The owners here RV and recreate down in Baja all the time, and they wanted to kind of replicate places that they've seen and low maintenance, drought tolerance here at the house, so when they're gone a lot, they don't have to worry about the landscape. What we've done is we've removed an old nasty Bermuda grass lawn. We pushed the fence back about 10 feet to the property line, which you see there. Enlarged the whole yard. We used different colored gravels over industrial strength landscape fabric, drip irrigation, low voltage lighting, and trees and palms and shrubs, which will stand up to just about anything the Central Valley has to throw at it. This particular landscape isn't for everyone, but for these people, they really like it. The maintenance on this will probably result in about 4 times a year, mostly blowing some leaves off in the fall. Small new sod lawn installed here around the play area is for their grandkids. And looking back on it, we've totally transformed a narrow rectangular yard into a place where paths walk out into the garden, where they can gather around fire pits and fire bowls. The wall was done by somebody else, but the idea was ours. And if something like this or anything of an idea prompts you to call, we welcome it at Lodi Design and Landscape. Thanks for visiting, and we'll catch you at the next one. Bye for now. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the latest creation from Lodi Design and Landscape. This particular project's located out in Oakdale. Prior to our visit, this was a lawn and a production tree from the builder. And what we created was a lawnless environment with raised beds, drip irrigation, green drain dry creek bed, a little bit of a boulder retainer at the sidewalk, and the cobblestone, which gathers water when the rain comes and it soaks back into the yard. The plants that we used were all what we call WUCALS qualifying, meaning it qualifies for the rebate. So we use things like manzanita and lantana, arctotis and grevillea, abelia, and some ornamental grasses. So they'll be able to turn that into the state and get a couple of dollars back. We also did some decorative pruning on the large camellias that before was just a large block hedge and dead in the middle. And then around the foundation we did sun camellia, sun azalea, and some purple palace coral bells. This particular type of landscape is getting popular because of the lawnless element to it and the lack of maintenance that you have to do on a weekly basis like you do with a lawn. So something like this that you can see in your front yard or backyard, we would appreciate a phone call from you. Lodi Design and Landscape, 209-642-0675. This is Matt, and we'll catch you at the next one. Thanks for visiting. Bye. Hi, and welcome back. This is one of the latest projects from Lodi Design and Landscape. Located in Lodi, just a small removal of turf area and then an installation of natural boulders, rock, cobble, flagstone, gravel, and a decorative water feature. This is right at the patio edge of the customer, where they can sit with their lawn furniture and have just enough sounds of water without being overwhelming. And then it's planted up with dry shade type of perennials and ground covers, which will last for years and years. Electrical was brought out to the project from the garage that you see in the foreground. If something like this, small-scale gardening, interests you, visit the website and give us a call. LodiDesignandLandscape.com. Thanks for visiting. We'll see you on the next project. Well, it's the beginning of July 2016, and after a tremendous heat wave when this job started, we have finally finished the job in Sun West on Grenoble Drive. The previous landscape was a large amount of lawn and overgrown bushes to the point where they couldn't back out of their driveway and see down the street or the sidewalk. Wrong plant, wrong place, like I always say. Now we removed the large bushes that are in front of you there and installed small drought-tolerant perennials in color We have lighting for the trees. These are Giacomonte birch, only about 20 feet tall. Very well behaved birch tree, beautiful white bark. The lawn has been reduced by 50%, and we've kind of terraced the front yard with a boulder retainer down low, small sidewalk, grass strip, and then we leveled out and flattened the upper lawn, and then had a raised mounded area up towards the house with the trident maples. Again, right plant, right place. Small 20-foot maples, good fall color, reasonably drought tolerant. And speaking of drought tolerant, all the planter beds are done in drip irrigation with automatic timer, of course. And the lawn nozzles for the lawn are the high efficiency rainbird nozzles. So they use about 30% less water. You do have to use them a little bit longer, but still you save water. And then around the corner, which is kind of no man's land, we basically graveled in the area for access to the gas meter, and we put in some sun camellia, which you see there. This used to be large snowball viburnum that was back in here, and you couldn't even walk. So with a combination of a little bit of tender loving care and about 3 months, this brand new landscape will be off and running for years of enjoyment for these people. Drive by if you want. 2300 block of Grenoble Drive in Sun West area of Lodi, California. Visit us again, Lodi Design and Landscape, 209-642-0675. Thanks for taking a minute. Bye. Hot August days and hot August nights. Hi everybody, Matt at Lodi Design and Landscape. This is one of our recent projects down in Lathrop. Now when you take a look at the sod, disregard the death edges. Sometimes that happens when people forget to water like they said they were going to. But the rest of the lawn that was already automated turned out really good. And even in 104-degree heat, it's still doing well. This particular property was 4-foot high weeds from fence to fence. And when I first saw it, it scared the hell out of me. But we took it on, and we took over for a design created by others and persevered through it. Had a tremendous amount of underground work for lighting and irrigation. And then we had the wall. This is a wall constructed from stackable block by the AB Block Company, created by Calstone, and it created a real nice raised bed feature, and then a sitting wall that is lighted underneath, which you see little LED lights there, and also the large columnar Crimson Century maples get lit up at night too. The lawn area does take up probably about half of the backyard, but they have 3 little ones and need a place to run around. But with all the flat work and cement area, they also have places for bicycles and tricycles in this rather large residential lot. Now the raised bed has a huge retainer that butts up against the fence, and then it's waterproofed with 30-weight roofing felt, which will last for 25 to 30 years. Everything is drip irrigated, and even the little sprinklers that you see there are also created from drip irrigation, which can take care of the perennial color that's planted in the little half moons. Automated lighting, automated irrigation, automated yard except for mowing. These people are professional people that are gone 16 hours out of the day with child care and Bay Area job sites, and they do not get here basically except to sleep and enjoy the weekend. And now they have a place they can be proud of and have the kids play safely other than in the street. So if something like this intrigues you, or is something that you guys want to look into, then give me a call at Lodi Design and Landscape, 209-642-0675. Thanks for taking a minute. This is Matt saying bye for now. Okay, hey, good afternoon. Matt here at LDL. This is a small project in my backyard, and it's going to be the foundation for a stackable block wall that I just got underway this morning. And behind the wall will be this large mound, which will be groomed and carved and made into a pondless waterfall. And I let this sit fallow for a long time because, God, we had done so much else out front and all over this place. So kind of a luxury thing, you know, pondless waterfall and all. So right now we got the back wall staked in, and we'll probably put a 9 or a 12-inch pour on this, and then you can see how high the waterfall will be. And it'll probably have a total of about 3 feet drop. And I'm going to do 2 spillways, and one will be active all the time, and then I'll have the option of turning on the other one, so it's going to kick out a lot of water. I'm going to put a 4,000, 8,000 aqua surge pump on one side, which will be the main one, and then I'm going to put a 2,000, 4,000 on the secondary one. So stick around and watch the progress over the next week or so. We're supposed to have a change in weather coming up from the 80s in the end of October here, and tapering off into the 70s and 60s with a chance of rain next week. So I'll get this formed up today and tomorrow and get it poured, and then if it does, heavens do open up, at least I don't have anything to worry about as far as the cement goes. And then on the outside, near the lawn edging, I'm going to V that out and put in gravel, and it's going to be tapered so that it flows from the high in the back to the low in the front. And it'll be caught and transferred out of here by that drain, and then that drain right there. And this one goes across the way over there to a sump pump that's beyond the trailer. And the other one, complete with frog, goes out and goes into a French drain on the other side of the olive tree and get some water in the ground naturally. So a little bit of a rain drain. Alright, so enough for right now. The project's underway. Just a little dock for you guys. Bye. The wall is in. Wall is in with the caps on. I have not glued the caps down just yet because of experience tells me don't cap them and glue them until everything is done. So I have the stream bed graded and in. The blocks are in place for their little cascades. And then out here, between the wall and the lawn, we'll have landscape fabric, a drip tube, a few small plants, nothing major. And then up in here is where all the magic will happen. I decided not to raise the spillway there that high. I'm going to sink that down probably at least half. And now that I get to this part, once again I have to rely on others, and others delayed the shipment of the kit to put it together, and we've got a storm coming in tomorrow. So I hope this doesn't turn into a giant mud pit for several days, which will delay it even more. But electrical is wired up. You just have to connect it up to the panel. And I think, well, I know this is the largest one I've ever done. But we're going to have one of the AquaSurge 4,000, 8,000 pumps on it. So it should definitely push some water down that hill. It'll be a real nice addition to the backyard here. So join us for chapter 3.
It's the first running of the waterfall. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so awesome when it's done.
Yeah, I read that.
That was his.
Kanga and I. Yeah,
Oh,
the tractor and I.
The tractor.
I had the place over
Your
there.
laborer, huh?
Yeah, Wallace, the decorative rock.
Yeah.